Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Walk in Wisdom. We're going to be in Proverbs chapter number 20 today. Proverbs chapter number 20, and I hope that you've been following along. I hope that you've been reading along with us as we journey through the book of Proverbs. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. It's a call and encouragement to us that as we look through the book of Proverbs, this book of wisdom, that we are intentional about pulling truths that we can apply to our lives. And so as we read the book of Proverbs for this week, Proverbs chapter number 20, there was one major theme that I saw, or one key element that I'd like to pull out of the passage. That is in verse number 5, 6, and 7. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5 says, "The purpose in a man's heart is like deep water." The purpose in a man's heart is like deep water. What we see is that this idea of a person, an individual, they have purpose, right? You have purpose, I have purpose. The person that we walk past or drive past, they have purpose in their life. Now, what is that purpose? Is it simple? Is it convoluted? Like, what is that purpose? And what the writer here compares it to is deep water. What is deep water? Well, it's something you can't see the bottom of, right? It's deep. The only way to get there is to dive in and to search. It's like those that go to the bottom of the ocean. From the surface of the ocean, you can't see what's at the bottom of the ocean. But in order to get to the bottom of the ocean, in order to see what's down there, you have to get into a submarine. You have to go out to the middle of the ocean, and you have to dive in that submarine down to the bottom of the ocean. In the same way, the purpose of a man's heart is like that deep water. And what we see at the second part of the verse, he will seek, but a man of understanding will draw it out. A man of understanding will draw it out. Now, what we're seeing is that someone on the surface can look down. They can look at the or attempt to look at the bottom of the ocean and maybe make assumptions or guess what the purpose of an individual is. But truly, a man of understanding, a woman of understanding, will make the effort to seek it out. They'll go through the effort that it takes to pull up that submarine, to dive down to the deepest parts of the ocean, to see what's there, to get to a person's heart, to dive into that person's heart, to see what is there. An understanding person, rather than making assumptions, rather than jumping to conclusions, will dive in to truly understand the purpose of the person that they're wanting to get to know. The second thing that we're going to look at is in verse number 6. "But many a man proclaims his own steadfast love, but a faithful man who can find." So the first thing that we saw was that a person who is understanding will truly get to know someone. They will make an effort. They will attempt to really dive in and get to know the person. The second thing that we see here is that a lot of people proclaim love to other people, right? "Oh man, I really love you. Hey, you guys are awesome. We love you," right? That show of affection that we do at times, but there is varying levels. Varying levels of this love. When I speak to my wife and tell her that I love her, to my daughter Charlie and tell her that I love her, that is different than when I'm walking past one of my buds and I'm like, "Hey, love you, dude." Right? The intensity of that love, the depth of that love, is different. And so what we have to see here is that anybody can say that they have steadfast love, but a faithful man who can find. And so what we're seeing here is to display or tell someone that you love them is one thing, but then to truly follow through on that love is something else. when a friend or family member are in need, when there's something going on in someone's life that they need help with, when there is a time that you just get rid of all of the personal things that are going on and you focus on the needs of that person. Spending time talking to that person, showing love towards to that person. A faithful man who can find this faithfulness here is spoken directly in conjunction to that steadfast love. A man proclaims, he says, tells his own steadfast love, hey, I love you. But a person who can follow through, a person who is faithful, it's hard to find that person. And so, first thing that we see, it's important to truly get to know people, to understand who they are. Everybody has a purpose, but really diving in and finding out what that purpose is shows how much you truly care about them. The second is that everybody says that they love another person or people, but to truly follow through on that love is a completely different thing. And then verse number 7, the righteous who walk in his integrity, the righteous who walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. The righteous who walks in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. And I think what we saw from these first two verses are truly individuals who have integrity, who are real. And so we run into this last verse that talks about a righteous person that has integrity will have children who are blessed. Why? I think what we see here is that a person who has integrity in his exterior relationships, the people that are not family, really shows how that person treats people. And the person that really dives in to get to know someone else is going to dive in to get to know his children. A person who really shows and displays his love for someone else will show and display his love for his children. And what we see here is someone who has integrity in their external relationships should also have integrity in their internal relationships within their family. And that person, his children, will be blessed because of his integrity. Man, we're really excited for the opportunity to meet together again this Sunday. We were really enjoying just worshiping together and being together last Sunday. And so we hope that you'll join with us again this Sunday. If you weren't there this last Sunday, that you would join us this Sunday. But we're also thankful that you continue to join us in this Walk in Wisdom series. And so as we continue to dive in, we'll be hearing from Pastor Theron tomorrow. And we're really thankful for the opportunity to spend this time with you. So we love you guys. We miss you, and we'll see you soon.